There is a saying that goes, if you walk alone, you can walk fast. But if you walk in group, you can go further. Is this valid for you? They say if you go by yourself, you can go very fast. You can sprint. You can actually really, really go. But if you have a group of people, you have a group of 7 people, it's going to be slower, but you can go further. Do you agree to this or not? Can you say that you can do much less, but quick alone, but you can do much more with a group of 7 people? Now, let's twist it a little bit. How about you are 7 people, but among 7, 5 are working very, very hard, and 2 are lazy and very problematic. Not just lazy, problematic, difficult, unsure, disloyal. What do? Do you fix them, or do you throw them and move forward? Do you part ways, each on its own, because 2 of you are very difficult? Or do you say, okay, let's drop the 2, okay, so 5 of us can progress? Or let's say, let's fix the 2 and go ahead. It's very interesting. I want to know how you feel about this. Now, Ethiopia is doing something tremendous, fellas. Very interesting. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. You appreciate it. My name is Zack. I don't know who you are, but hey, if you watch this video till the end, we're gonna like each other. Here we talk about most of the things in Africa. We talk about Nigeria, Uganda, Tanzania, you name it. Wagwan mi boss, always. Okay. Trinidad, I see you, Tobago, St. Lucia, Botswana. Okay, I can't name everybody today. Anyway, let's get back on track. This is Ethiopia. Very interesting place. Ethiopia or Ethiopia, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
Ethiopia.
Now, Ethiopia is exploring ideas of being part of the IES. What is IES? These countries. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. I'm sure you heard about them, right? Yes. Why have you heard about them? Because they're doing tremendous things in Africa. What kind of things they're doing? They are truly freeing African nations. Their nations. How? By kicking away all sort of colonialism and colonialist systems. Most of these countries in Africa were colonized by the French. These 3 countries have in common colonies of France. They were colonies of France. So France stood ahead of them for a long time. And they controlled their economies. Now they decided to push away the French. They're free. Right now, they're not very much liked by the rest of Africa. Do you see all these people? These are ECOWAS. They hate them because they used to be part of ECOWAS. They've left. Anyway, Ethiopia have seen this. They see how these countries are progressing. They're helping each other. They're supporting one another. In fact, when these 3 countries decided to free themselves, some of these countries here, ECOWAS, wanted to attack this country here, Niger. You can see on the map, they wanted to attack Niger to overthrow the government. Why? Because the government they wanted to overthrow had overthrown another government that ECOWAS liked.
Ready to go anytime the order is given. The D-Day is also decided, which we are not going to disclose. There will be no more meetings of the chiefs of defense staff.
And these other countries, Burkina Faso and Mali, say, if you dare to attack Niger, we're going to blow you up.
4. Warn that any military intervention against Niger will be considered as a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali. I repeat, 4. Warn that any military intervention against Niger will be considered as a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali.
You know what's happened? They did not attack because they saw solidarity. Now, Ethiopia see the solidarity among these 3 countries and they want to be part of it. These countries don't just have solidarity, they also have created a common army. They are sharing technology, they are sharing industry. Ethiopia is exploring closer ties with Alliance of Sahel. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has indicated the country's readiness to export drones, joining a select group of nations with indigenous drone manufacturing capabilities. So Ethiopia bred... Shh, belly! So Ethiopia's fellas... Sorry, my dog. I don't know if you're going to hear them. I have dogs. Many dogs. Big dogs. Bad dogs. Anyway, let's get back on track. So Ethiopia is manufacturing drones. Yes, local-made drones. They are not playing. They are not dancing. They are not eating and doing that African stuff. They're not into that. Ethiopia has got Ethiopia Airline. You see this? All the pilots here are all Ethiopians. They have many, many fleets. I don't know exactly how many. The pilots are Ethiopians. They're training them. They're not playing. Ethiopia has been making strides in drone manufacturing. The country has developed indigenous drone technology with its first known drone called Robot 1. And these drone technologies are focusing on agriculture, on intelligence, and many other things. So they're moving forward. Ethiopia wants to share this technology with Burkina Faso. Ethiopia also had an ammunition industry. Yes, they produce bullets, missiles, and stuff like that. They don't play. You know, one of the highest forms of independence is being able to produce your own weapons. You know North Korea? Right? What do you know about them? What's the West tells you about them? They say they're bad countries and stuff like that. Okay, I've never been there, but that's what they say. Now, do you know why they've never attacked North Korea as opposed to Syria, Iraq, and stuff? Because North Korea have weapons and soldiers. They understand the politics and the dynamics of the world. The stronger you are, the less likely they're going to come to bother you and bomb you. Now, Ethiopia understands that. The rulers of the world are the producers of weapons. The people that produce the most weapons are the most respected in the world. Ethiopia is now producing its own ammunitions and guns. They don't play. They're moving slowly, but they're moving certainly. They want to share that technology with the IAS, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has announced that Ethiopia has secured a contract from export of ammunition valued to over $30 million. So Ethiopia is already exporting ammunition to other countries. He said we have signed contracts with numerous countries for the sale of ammunition, generating over $30 million in the last 3 months alone. So not many countries in Africa produce their own ammunition. South Africa is one of them. Egypt is one of them. But, the technology comes from not necessarily people that look like you and I. Okay, let's just be honest, okay? You know that. We need to do more because whether you like it or not, it comes a time where they remind you that your society was built by them. Don't forget that. Your road, your electricity, your whatever. You can boost and say, oh, my country. No. Your community is not doing anything. That is something that we need to fix, all of us. Ethiopia has also built its own aeroplane, fellas. Its own aeroplane. Made in Ethiopia. Everything from Ethiopia. With intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance abilities, including specialized cameras and payloads mounted beneath of the fuselage. It's called Tseheitu. Ethiopia is one of the 2 countries in Africa that was never colonized. Yes. Ethiopia and Liberia. Well, in Liberia, it was actually a place where they returned slaves from America. After the end of slavery, some Africans in America wanted to go back to Africa. They did everything and sent some of the former slaves back to Africa, in Liberia. That's where they created their own community. But later on, they had some issues with the locals because the guys coming from America's name were Johnson, Patterson, and Peterson and all that. They found these Africans and they wanted to rule over the Africans and they had big mayhem, big problems. We're going to talk about that some other time. Instead of integrating themselves, they perceived themselves as superior to these Africans, so they had big fight. In Ethiopia, well, these people resisted to the Italians. They beat the living shit out of Italians. Yes, they don't play. Ethiopians went to war against Europeans. While the rest of Africa was going to colonialism, they could not colonize Ethiopia because these people were very ingenious, very prepared, never cut their hair, and your hair has been proven to be very crucial to your nervous system. Very interesting. So Ethiopia is moving toward these 3 countries. What do you think would be the result if Africa started sharing technology, sharing intelligence? I mean, look at this guy, Maxwell Chukwumbutso from Zimbabwe, who came up with a car that doesn't need fuel to run. They've tried to suppress him for so many years. It's been 10 years. I mean, let's say he's telling lies. Can you tell lies for 10 consecutive years? It's not possible. He says his car doesn't need fuel. His car uses natural energy, frequency to run. He's got television that switches off with no electricity. He's got this is crazy. A TV switched on with no electricity.
That uses self-power to say. It is all in one. You don't need to put it on electricity or on solar panel or anything.
No plug. The TV is not plugged, but it's on. This guy went to America. He wanted to patent his stuff. He was told that he cannot patent his work because his work defies physics. Only recently, he met the president of Zimbabwe, and I hope something positive will come out of that. In America, apparently he was poisoned and his friend was unalived, and he came up alive. In Burkina Faso, they've got their own cars that doesn't need fuel either. This car is charged by solar power. It can run 220 kilometers without refueling. Now imagine you get the Ethiopians, you get this Chikumbutso, you get all these technology guys from Burkina Faso and elsewhere, come together, create a system for Africans, protect Africa's intelligence, AI, all that stuff. Where can we be? Africa is not respected because all the system that you're working with, whether it's technology, is imported from other countries. And you think these people will give you telephones and computers without having a back end, without having a possibility to hack your stuff and see what your government officials are talking about? Wake up, man. Let me know how you feel about this. It was a great pleasure. God bless.